Izzy Bradler's gonna bring.
Okay.
So I'll get you your copy.
Oh, okay,
So what-
okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, I pulled to the parking lot, I'm like, I forgot to look, so I called Tyler, Izzy's at the meeting. Can you swing by and bring me that book?
Does everyone have all of the agenda and items? Okay. Before we actually get started and do call to order and roll call, it would be good if we did introductions because we have a new commissioner. I think it seems like we did it. Because of the council committee meeting, Michelle needed to do it a little bit earlier. But so Lakeisha's official, but we'll just all go around and introduce ourselves. I know that some of us already know each other, but I'm AT. I'm the director of the commission. We can go.
I'm Uzziah. I serve as the secretary for the commission.
Okay, so I'm Lakeisha Bradley. I've been around here since 2005, but I teach at New York City. And I'm Dave Simons, the board chair of Next Step Foundation.
Justin Sears, advisor to the commission and work with Terrell Police Department.
I'm Jackie Lauer, former teacher.
Katie Luger, advisory member also with Justin and representing Pfizer.
Amber Stewart, volunteer firefighter for Riley Fire Department and work for the city.
Dee Reed, retired from St. Mary Woods College.
Well,
I know you.
and we have Sandy Muchler is not here. She told me she had a she's traveling. So, but we should go ahead and call the meeting to order. Dana, you're acting chair tonight because Sandy's out. So
We can call, but I didn't need a motion to order.
I think you just call it to order.
Call to order as of it is. I will. And a
Excellent.
roll call.
Oh, good. All right. Lakeisha. Uzziah.
Here.
Jackie.
Here.
Katie.
Here.
Sandy is excused. Dee.
Here.
Justin.
Here.
Dana.
Here.
Amber.
Here.
See.
More than a quorum.
Yeah.
Did everybody have a chance to read the minutes from last month's meeting? And can I get a motion to approve them or amend them?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that. All those in favor of approving the minutes?
Or
Same sign, anybody opposed? And AT, would you be kind enough to give us your lovely director's report?
Yes. I was out for a week this past month, but I did attend to quite a few things according to this. So I provided sort of an update here on a couple of the things that I had let you know that I was going to last time so we could talk about it. So it was, I think, the following day after our last commission meeting, I traveled to Indy to attend Patchwork Indy's network of welcomers. So IN Now conference or summit that they had. And so they and they hosted it along with University of Indianapolis, and that's where it took place. So they had people from like hospital groups and from social service providers. They had the arts community. I sat at the table with somebody from like a symphony group, and there were people from art museums. I was pretty much the only like government official, or I don't know if I'm really an official, but then there were like other kind of education and groups, mostly from Indianapolis, but there was like Fort Wayne at my table, Wabash County, Terre Haute. And we got a big shout out. Gosh, they were like really excited. Terre Haute's here, and I was like, oh, okay, great. Well, this is awesome. But really, it was honestly, it kind of reminded me of one of our like strategic planning meetings that we've had. So they like had us sit down. We looked at some data about, newcomers to Indiana, and according to like census data, which if you're an undocumented person, you might not be reported in that census data. So there was some conversation around that. And then there was just like a general conversation around like, how can Indiana improve in its services and welcoming newcomers? And it wasn't about like, we need to change laws or any, it was like, you know, we have people here, they're a part of our community. How do we better be a community? So that, there were a lot of like education challenges, you know, translation services. So those were some of the things that they kind of came up with. And I will say it kind of left me, I was like, okay, there's not really like an action item at the end, but they're having another summit on October 9th. So I'm wondering if at that summit there will be like kind of an action item. It was pleasant to be a part of the conversation, but yeah, it was like we came up with these ideas, but I was like, who's implementing these ideas? So I think that they're eager to get people in the room and to talk about these things. But anyway, that's where I'm at. I had wrapping up at the end of last month, I was wrapping up the transit summer project. So met with the transit team a few times. And then they did their full final presentation, which our engineering interns put together this beautiful long report. I did not print it off for everybody to save paper, but later on tonight, I will share where you will be able to find a digital copy of this. I've created a digital place for us to store things, but we are going to need to, I'm going to need to be working continuously with engineering to implement these bus shelter replacements in 2026. Brandon did agree to give us, not us, but like allocate out of the casino fund some monies to do replacement in 2026 using local dollars. In order to tap into our federal dollars from transit, we have to submit it like a whole year in advance. So by the March of this upcoming year, we'll have to have submitted it for to use federal funds in 2027. And the nice thing is those federal funds have already been allocated to us. It's not like, oh, they're ours. So we have to submit the plans like this to NDOT to then become the sub recipient or whatever of these funds.
Did they also look at any kind of expansions of the routes or changing the routes?
So that is the MPO will need to be due in 2026. They said that they will do a bus operational analysis study, and they'll hire a consultant to come in and do that. And then there will have to be like a year essentially of like public meetings, comments, feedback on potential changes. So I would not anticipate seeing any route changes in the like near future. It's a pretty lengthy process. Another thing that we kind of got pulled into, or I got pulled into, is there's a group called Solar Opportunities Indiana, which they were allocated $114 million from the EPA to do solar projects across Indiana. And I believe that they actually already conducted, several like $5-10 million projects in Indianapolis. It was maybe Fort Wayne and one other community, maybe Bloomington, and have done these like solar fields. And so they're doing a round 2 in Terre Haute, maybe like Jeffersonville, somewhere in southern Indiana, and maybe South Bend. I just know that we were selected for $2 million. And so the NAACP was really active in helping get Terre Haute this money, or getting Terre Haute to be selected as one of these new sites. And so what the goal is that they will create a solar field on a 5-acre plot of land in Terre Haute. And the idea is that it would hook up people who are low income to this, like they are like a specific neighborhood that has been identified as low income, to this solar field to help reduce their energy costs. And then they'll take another like small set of solar panels and put them on top of a community center, and they'll create what's called a resiliency hub. And we helped identify a couple options for them. It looks like it would probably be like Booker T. Washington. And the resiliency piece is that when there is a natural disaster per se, tornado, huge thunderstorms, power goes out, the solar would continue to power this resiliency hub. People can go charge their phones. They can go sit in air conditioning. So we have this meeting. We had to identify some plots of land. And then like a week later, we were told that maybe this money is on hold. So long story, it could still happen. Sorry to put up all of that. I know. I was like, you guys were, I really did. I was like, I should have started with this. This is what I can't backtrack now. Anyway, but so we identified the one thing that's hard in Terre Haute is to find a 5-acre plot of like flat unused land. And so I don't want to, because they haven't announced anything publicly, but the city like owns obviously a lot of plots of land. And so
Something that would take with you.
so the airport actually, I know this. I think that they've announced it. They are doing a solar project at the airport. So
Yeah,
different
yeah.
from this. Yeah. So I said that too. I was like, oh, we should just put it at the airport, like in Indianapolis. But yeah, they've already got their own solar project. And I think the other thing is like we want it to be somewhat proximate to a low income community. I guess somewhat it doesn't have to be. So if the plot that we find is far away, we'll just have to run the wire longer. I totally know that part of it.
Maybe 5 acres.
But yes,
5 acres.
I think we've given them an option that we own and that we would then deed to them to then do this, and then it would get deeded back to, I don't know. But again, it's sort of on hold. We had our strategic planning retreat, which I have in here as an old business item with the notes, and we'll talk more about that. I've had, and I think I told Lakeisha this when we met the other day, we have a new website coming. And so I've been attending some of these website trainings and meetings with our IT department. There's a new website for the city of Terre Haute that goes live September 23rd to the public. At our next meeting, I will give you a preview of what our website, our page looks like. Most of it just migrated over from the last one, but they have, fancy module things is what they call them. Or are you doing? I'm not jealous. I know.
I'm way behind.
I know. Well, no. I'm like, I'm not. See it September 2nd. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, and I'm not envious of how many pages I'm sure that the police department has. We have like 5-10 pages. So.
But it is nice.
It's
more
yeah.
manual, it's easy to model.
Yes.
The old one was
Yes.
Better. That's why it didn't get any better, is because it was really hard behind the scenes to fix it
Mhm.
or change anything. So it was
Yeah,
like an old
there was
DOS
one like one template for every page. It was like a text box, and you could just
So
feed
everybody
stuff
just came
into a
up.
text box.
Yeah.
So this is a company that does municipalities. That's their bread and butter. I think that's all they do is really, and they're based out of Troy, Michigan, which is near Detroit. And they have been doing webinars with us. I've been meeting with IT, who's like also learning while we're learning, but they've been very helpful in kind of the behind the scenes stuff. So I just need to find like 6 hours where I can like sit down and upload all the pictures and all of that stuff.
Well, try it out there.
Yeah. And I have website design experience, so I don't have to get over that hurdle of like, oh, this is too much. So I feel good. I feel like it'll look nice. And just because it goes live on September 23rd doesn't mean you guys can't give me feedback and say we should try this instead. As long as the information's there, I feel really good. We can change things though. So I don't know where I am. Safe Streets, that's an ongoing project that I'm on this committee. I think they interviewed some of you at some point about feedback. They're coming out with the plan this month. They'll present it at council. So it's essentially a plan to eliminate car accidents, road sort of accidents I just have been providing feedback as like the ADA coordinator. One of the things that also is in here is the budget. So I met with Brandon and our controller, Jessica, to talk about to finalize it based off the feedback you all gave me at the last meeting. I met with Anne, who helped run our book club this past year, to kind of give her some of the feedback that we had from the strategic planning retreat, and just to kind of plant a couple seeds and see if she's still interested for next year. Met with Dorothy Chambers. There's a lot of organizations in town that have lost federal funding. And so we're asking her, and I think she's maybe working with the chamber to identify what are all the organizations and how much money are you anticipating losing, so that the city can develop some sort of grant program to then locally fund. It won't
Is it not
replace.
just federal fund, is it also state funding you've lost?
Yes, I think that yes. Or what?
I said, great.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Both. Yes. There will probably be some, like, it won't be a huge, pool. It also might have like narrow boundaries at first. It might be this, this type of group first, then this group, have different like cycles. But the idea would be it'd kind of be like ARPA, where we ask United Way to run the grant program, but we have the ARPA money. This would be casino money. So Brandon and I we had met with 14th and Chestnut, and fortunately they had had their funds reinstated for the remainder of this year. But that was like, okay, that gets you to here. What do we need to do to summer 2026? And so that we were talking, and Dorothy had some good ideas that, it's not just about, we give you this grant. Is there other things that we could, like the city could help fund, board training programs, so you can develop your board better, and they can, fundraise more, those kinds of things, where it's not just about the money, it's also the skills and the training that we could combine with that. Exactly. Yeah. And then I think the other thing that is is like, are there it's when I know that groups that, are sometimes competing for the same funds, have not worked together. But maybe we need to encourage working together, and there's no money. Homeless Coalition, been going to that a lot. I'm also now on the Lotus Center Advisory Board. Keisha's on it too. So that'll be a good group to be on.
We've had a lot of people coming to us fleeing that Lotus Center, because it's a housing for lots of drugs, lots of alcohol. Right? It's not a place to, it's housing.
Yeah.
Yes. So we've had a lot of them, they have one wing that's absent.
Yeah.
Because it's housing
Yeah.
first.
That's
Um,
it. Yeah.
so-
No, that's an interesting piece to know. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, because I didn't. Yeah. We only get the view from the people that are the providers. The ADA self-evaluation and transition plan is this like 900-page document of every single curb, ramp, and sidewalk in Terre Haute. And engineering and I are working on, because right now it's a list of all of them and whether or not they're compliant, which, like, when it was originally created, none of them were. So we're working on, thankfully, our intern, he's still with us in engineering, our GIS person. They're taking some data from other places, merging it with the current data, so our self-evaluation and transition plan accurately reflects which curb, ramps, and sidewalks have been replaced since this plan was created. Anyway, it's a federal document that we have to have, and it is good that we're working on it. Lori Danielson asked to meet with me. I don't know if you all know her. She's the director for the Riverfront Redevelopment Group. And something that she had, said was, we're trying to get all this business here, but the other thing is we want people to come enjoy the river. And like, it's not just about like building things, it's about getting people there, and finding way. And she was telling me about a program where they had invited, like this like rower / like motivational speaker to come, and had partnered with like maybe Sarah Scott Middle School to help get kids into rowing. But she was just kind of looking, and she's seeking feedback about like, you know, what are the like barriers to like enjoying the Wabash River? I mean, I'm not talking like pollution, but like, you know, maybe thinking like culturally and like, how do we make the river a place for everyone? So
Because you have human in your title, you want to
Yes.
talk to.
yes,
I was a part of a group.
yeah,
The Ably cohort, and she came in and talked to us. Very attentive and like was really, how can you help me make this community better through this project?
Mhm.
She's very intentional. And
yes,
so,
yeah. So
Laura did that.
yeah. So she did, and I'm happy to invite her here. Yeah. Well, and I had said, I was like, you know, we are always talking about how young people are
Yes.
like so important to like, we need to
Yes.
help young people learn about their rights and learn about inclusion. And all of those really like positive things you need to build a successful community. I was like, well, why doesn't it like every kid needs to like have been on the river by 5th grade? Like, you know, I'm like, you set some sort of like big goal like that every, you know, get a pontoon boat. I don't know if that works on the river, but like, we gotta get kids on the river. I don't know. But anyway, I would like, if you're interested in like this, if you have thoughts, I could invite her to one of our upcoming commission meetings so she could better present to us, because I was like, yeah, sounds really awesome, but I don't have the answer for you. So
She's good. I'm on the River Skate Board.
good, yeah,
too, And,
Yeah.
I'm trying to do lots of things. I was going to tell you that, I'm going to get my dates right here. That would be a huge impact on the schools. Because Wawashiki Days.
yeah.
We have every year, and it's in September.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that's well attended. And there's lots of activities for kids to do, and food, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we could.
We were just up there at Chain of Lakes last week.
Good.
And Chain of Lakes has these really cool, I think it costs a lot, kayak and canoe launching places, right? They have a little bit of plastic, and you put your kayak in, and then you can
Yeah.
launch yourself. So you can get off of you don't have to have the boat ramp going down or walking down. You can just pull it, you can put it at Fairbanks Park and have a kayak.
Don't they have one at Dewey Point? They have a kayak
They
thing.
have a bunch of those in town. That would be cool.
I have not actually been on the river myself, so I'm not.
No, my first time was like 2 weeks ago, or I've never been on the river before,
No,
so
nobody has to. It's rare to access.
Yeah.
Unless you look-
Yeah, you have-
Look at it or in it, actually.
I've never been in it.
In it, I looked at it.
I don't think you want to be.
No, you don't
That's
want
why I
to.
was, that's why I
No.
was.
No, but like on a boat.
I've not been
In a boat on the river.
I've seen it from the.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's
Right from Fairbanks.
one of the
Yeah.
parts of the state that is along the river, that is not
Well,
accessible.
they used to, there was
Literally,
the
didn't work.
hovercraft
Fairbanks
group
didn't-
that was doing it.
Yes.
They were gonna do
I was
tours
just gonna
on the
allow.
river,
Mhm.
and I don't know what happened to that,
Yeah.
because I
They
was
have-
part of that
They
initially.
have a
Mhm.
walk, a river
It's the
walk
person,
for
the person that owns that
And they have old
business.
train
is
trestles like we
Brooklyn
have.
Grad,
that are part of the
now.
walk.
Yeah.
They redid them into the walk.
Was this like within the last couple of years? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. She had said something about bringing the hovercrafts back.
That's really.
Yes.
And
I-
We were talking about doing tours.
Yeah.
Because we went on.
Yes.
We went with,
Brendan Kearns.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was talking about all the landmarks. and
Yes.
About the wildlife.
Oh, he's so knowledgeable.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, that in itself, if you could do tours.
I know.
And learn about not only
Yeah.
wildlife, but we were talking about the
Yeah.
bridge and the significance of the bridge.
Yes.
some historical.
Yeah, that's who I
stories
went
about-
with. Yeah.
Yeah, so
And-
I mean, that's
yeah.
an idea that I could come up with
Yeah.
immediately is the hovercraft.
Mhm.
And like you said, if you can
It is
incorporate
a lot.
that
It is.
into your lesson plans.
Oh, I know.
Like you guys have to
Yeah.
submit your lesson.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So I definitely need to keep us moving because we're running low on time.
But I think you could invite her to the.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I do appreciate that. Okay. Yes. So, yeah. And then I met with Lakeisha, our newest commissioner, IT again. And then I added today's things in advance. I hadn't actually attended them when I wrote this, but I did. I attended the Lotus Center Advisory Board meeting and a follow-up website training session. I also had one inquiry. I had to add this before I printed it. She called me this morning and she's going to come in tomorrow. Today wasn't a great day to have someone come in, so they're going to file a complaint. I'll have updates on that tomorrow or next time. I talked briefly the ADA transition planning. I began working with engineering. I have plans to meet with IT to talk about the web content stuff, making sure any and all things that are attached to the website are also ADA compliant. Upcoming things. We have the Chamber of Commerce annual meeting tomorrow. The people who RSVP'd were Katie, Dee, Uzziah, Jackie, and Lakeisha. I will also be at the table, and then because there were still 2 seats available, I invited LaDonna. She was the one who actually did the nomination for me to sit at our table. But there is still 1 seat available if anybody was free. No pressure. No pressure. Literal no pressure. Okay. He's sitting at the chamber table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Hey.
They say drop a ball.
I think I sent it out via email. The Black Caucus for the Indiana State Legislature is coming to City Hall on Saturday. Fortunately, I cannot be there, but I would highly encourage all of you to attend. I will get to Pride Fest and Family Learning Day when those things are on the calendar. I wanted to give an update. I will be out of office again the week of Labor Day. I am traveling internationally again, so I will have a little bit of limited access. And I'm calling it a professional program. If you have questions, I'm happy to talk to you after the meeting about that. But just to keep this place a nonpartisan, neutral place. That's what I'll call it. But I will be missing about 9 days of work over the next 10 months. And so when I miss work for these other things, what I do is flex time I work on the weekends. I come in or I stay late. Or if I can't do those things, I'll take PTO. But I just wanted to make sure I was being transparent about that. And then financials. There's 2 things. I don't know what happened with the copier and why everything is crooked, but we've got our statement of activities for as of this past Friday. You can see what we have spent so far. And then in civic promotions is the one that has the grid lines. That's what comes out of the casino. So for Lakeisha, most of our budget comes out of the general fund. And so on the paper that says at the very top, City of Terre Haute Department Statement of Activities, the first, I can't count, 8 lines are my salary and benefits. The middle is office supplies, which we haven't used anything yet. We'll probably use it on printer ink later this year. And then the rest of it is the rest of our line items. Everything at the city has to be budgeted. You can only use it on these types of things. So services contractual, that was previously it was a lot bigger of a line. The city or the commission used to contract an attorney, but that has been cut over the years, so we don't anymore. That was a decision that was made before I was in this role. Instruction is things like conferences and other trainings that I have to pay for, traveling to those things. I have to go around, go out of town or something for work. They will reimburse me for gas. public notices, anytime I put in the newspaper, like that we're having a meeting, I've actually had to request that we transfer money into there because the bill came for that special meeting we had at the station. I had to publish that. It was $13 and we only have $9 in there. So I'm moving $25 from services contractual to cover the rest of that. So sorry, Tribune Star, you'll get your money soon. Subscriptions and dues. We subscribe to Canva, so I can make things, flyers, etc. And then I subscribe to the like ADA Coordinators Association, and like for my ADA certification is like dues, and there's another thing. The other page is the next one is what comes out of the casino, and this is like our programming budget. The two things that are highlighted, we haven't actually been invoiced for or pay. It hasn't come out yet. They haven't sent the check yet. So I wanted to go ahead and put it's again on here so you can see about how much we have remaining, $4,465.37 for the remainder of this year. Questions, and then that does have to be accepted into the minutes.
Well, the Shiki days are September 20th, Saturday, September 20th,
Saturday.
from 9 until 2. And it's fun to come if you have children or any little ones in your family do come.
Okay.
It starts in the morning with a turtle trot of 2 and 3-year-olds.
Aww. I was singing Real Turtles. Okay. That was wrong. I thought it was turtles because there are turtles over there. I know. Anyway, bummer.
If you wanted to, we could set a chant. I mean, we could have a chant.
We could. I would have to look at that day because it's sounding in my head like not a great day for me. Because maybe. I don't have anything on this one, but perhaps my personal calendar I need to check. So
Well, we could look at that.
yeah.
And you know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe have, I don't know, can we get 300 more of these little?
Yeah. Well, we've got tons of because we've got stuff for Pride Fest and the Family Learning Day, which we'll get to. But if that can be, a motion to.
to accept the director's report as presented.
I make a motion to accept the director's report.
Second.
All those in favor?
Alright.
Six times, anybody opposed? Discussion?
Okay. So this is just the memo. This is the budget that for 2026. They did 3% raises across the board for the staff members that are not a part of like a union. Police, fire, those guys, I don't know what they're getting, but all of the other like non-union staff, 3% across the board. I have no idea what will happen in the future beyond that. One of the things is our service contractual will be fully eliminated as of next year. So that's one way we're kind of saving the city money, but like realistically, our group is very small. We don't really save. But the goal was to have everybody reduce their budget between like 2 and 3%. So if you go to the very bottom into like the total expenses line, our budget does decrease by 2.42%, which kind of meets that goal. It looks a little bit, I didn't bring the one that we had talked about before. I think originally we had like 3,000 or 3,200 maybe in the travel line. Brandon asked if we could deal with 2,900 and I said sure. So everything else is pretty much the same as what we talked about.
No more trips to South Africa.
Well, that one, I paid for that. I did not spend any, I did not, there was no city money involved in that. Yes, it did come out of my salary, technically, but it was allocated to me. We don't have to take any action on this, but are there any questions? I don't know when the council meeting is yet. I don't anticipate this will be a point of
So do you need to
discussion.
go to that? To-
Probably not. I will go. But I don't anticipate any. The only question that came up last year about us was moving our money to casino and why they did that, the programming, and that was it. Oh, and then the other thing, we did get $1,000 more in casino. We got from 14 to 15,000 for next year. Sorry, that's a big one.
I'm guessing that yours is gonna slide underneath there. with the
Yeah, exactly.
RCD negotiated this year.
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah. Plus, we're not like, we're not very big. Okay. The next thing, I will also send this out digitally, but this is for your review, just our strategic planning notes. I did it just like I did it last year. I kind of tried to summarize what each section of the meeting was, and I wrote down what was on the boards. It's hard to remember capture everything from a long meeting in a concise way. But this is for your review. If you have feedback on it, please let me know. I can amend things, but this is kind of then going to become my document that I reference back to as I, take what we learned and start implementing it into our projects. But it was a really good retreat. Thank you, everybody who came. Thank you, Katie, for leading our morning discussion. Okay, are you all ready for the next? Okay, so if you're watching virtually, you won't be able to see this, but that's okay. It's really an internal thing. So I don't know I don't know if you all are familiar with Google Drive, but it's a way to share files. And they don't have to, you don't get a million emails with files. I will still continue to send things to you via email, but I was thinking, I'm like, well, everything's stored on my computer, but nothing, if you wanted to go back, you would have to search your email. And so I apologize for not thinking of this sooner. I did this for the Homeless Coalition. I created a folder where we could put all of our things. So mainly the one that I think will be the most helpful is commission meetings. I put the number next to it so it goes in chronological order. So if we go to the August, all of the documents from today's meeting are found there. I try to save them as PDFs. If you prefer them to be Word documents, I can. I just hate when Google then makes it into a Google Doc and then it messes everything up. So if you would like to request anything, and then also Uzziah actually did a Google Doc for the minutes at the last one, so I think it'll make it easy for you to just upload it there every time, and that way, make it simple, make it easy. Yeah, and I will share. So that's the next thing. I will share access details with all of you, so you'll get an email from me, and then I might send out another, because it'll say from Terre Haute Human Relations Commission. So it might look a little bit spammy, but I have a Gmail that's just so we have plenty of storage. It's not on my and I really would like to not put anything on my personal Gmail. So this is also the Gmail that we use to run our YouTube page. So you'll get an email, and then I'll send out a link. But this, I would prefer to just, anyone could request public access to this. I'm totally fine with that, but I would just for the sake of, making sure that documents don't suddenly disappear, get edited, that, we just keep it, the link accessible to all of us for now. But of course, if someone public access requested, we would do that. Questions? Yeah, like I said, I'm sorry for not thinking of this sooner, but that is it. that, no action, but I needed to put that in here. Okay. There's 3, actually. I just got a text, so I can't forget. Valerie Hartcraig from the Culture Center at ISU emailed about an ISU street fair on this Friday, August 22nd, from, I believe, 5 to 8 p.m., 6 to 8, 5 to 7. Nope, not even 8 p.m., 5 to 7 p.m. I am free, and I'm happy to go set up a table. I just got to register us. If anyone else is free from 5 to 7 p.m. on Friday and would like to sit at this table with me, I invite you to join me. Will you be able to? Okay.
You can do it with you too.
Okay.
But let me put in my calendar now, because I'll forget.
This is the.
I see she sent you a flyer. I was somebody else about the time today.
So it's like an ISU. I think it's like an involvement fair, sort of. It says this vibrant and engaging event kicks off the school year by bringing together students, faculty, and staff to celebrate culture, community, and campus life. This is a wonderful opportunity for your organization to showcase who you are and what you do, connect with new and returning students, recruit new members, enjoy music, games, food, and more in a fun and welcoming environment. 2 of the things she specifically asked the city to bring was information from the mayor's office about his internships that he has every year, our bus routes and bus information, and then for the Human Relations Commission to have a presence.
Perfect, thanks.
Yes.
What street is it?
Okay, yes, all of this information is great.
Right behind the homeless center, so like
Oh.
the back where like the,
Larry Bird and.
on the opposite side of that. You know that ramp that goes down where maybe like a truck stove or whatever, it's.
Yeah.
that
Eagle.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, no. Yeah. 301 North 8th Street. 8th Street. Okay.
What time is it?
It's for literally that block.
It's from 5, according to this flyer and in this email, it says 5 to 7 p.m. That's when I will probably get there around 4 to set up, and we'll stay until 7. I have Dana and Amber written down as volunteers. Okay.
How come they never use the big grass areas, the big commons areas? They're beautiful, they're huge, and that's on the far east side of the campus.
Maybe if you ask, you might get an answer. It's been
I
a
mean,
question,
all the dorms and everything, you get, that's, we
It-
just never understood it.
it's been a question.
Mhm. We have also registered for 2 other wonderful events. One of them is Pride Fest. I don't know why I didn't put it first, but chronological order was not what I was thinking about. So the first one is Family Learning Day on this paper, which is Saturday, September 27th. It's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I'm wondering if I could get any volunteers to either do the whole day, or I broke it down into like 2 shifts since it's not a super long event. And then for Pride Fest, I really did a terrible job breaking this down into like shifts, but I thought maybe I could get a few different people this way. This one is from 3 to 8 p.m. on Saturday, September 13th at Fairbanks Park. Is 1:30 you think good for setup?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was like,
especially because you'll be. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not-
and I will say last year we like kind of started tearing down at like 7:45.
Yeah, especially with the entertainment at the end, I think a lot of people will gravitate toward the end
So,
there, so you can
yeah.
really,
Um,
so it's not.
yeah.
And I will say, on behalf of myself, that we have a board meeting on Family Learning Day during that time. And then we've expanded our board, which is exciting.
Yeah.
And I will let folks disclose at their discretion. But then also with Pride Fest,
Yeah, no, I know you're not. I know, yeah. I was like,
sorry, I'm just gonna
no,
pass
you're
it out.
good. You're good. You're good. I knew you were not available to be a volunteer. And then my mom actually also volunteered to come sit at the table with us too. So we can put her down wherever.
I can volunteer to do set up on Pride Fest.
On Pride Fest, okay?
Just to get you some areas that'll-
I will be
And if you
in-
need to think about things and come back to me, that's okay too.
I will be in Florence.
For on September 27th?
I'm gonna cancel and go.
Yeah, that's
I'll be
cool.
gone for a month, so
Oh, boy.
Oh, you said Jeff, the
On
library.
the library, with,
my husband
the
did
whole
it.
time?
Sure, hang on.
I gotta go.
Okay.
And I always said,
And I'm pretty sure Sandy has also volunteered for that one. So,
At my discretion, I'm saying, I have been invited to join the Board of Directors.
Yeah.
Center, so I will be with them on some of those days.
okay, so you're gonna be a, no, you're good. If you're gonna be a, anyone,
I have also.
yeah, I
I'm still on the 27th.
yeah, if you're free,
The second shift.
okay. Okay, and then,
Wednesday?
Yeah, the 17th.
So I'll be having-
okay.
So the next day I'll be joining her.
Okay, it'll be phone.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Anyone else available for Pride Fest? No worries. I can also recruit Terre Haute, City of Terre Haute staff to work.
I'm out of town in the morning and I'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm most likely gonna be there at least half the day for either police or.
Okay,
I'll be able to be there
okay,
for part of
part of it,
it.
in the evening part, okay,
I will be out of town.
that's okay.
And if anything.
And you'll be out of town, is that what you said?
We'll all be there.
Oh, you'll be there, okay, at 3.
I was gonna say, we're gonna be there, so if you need help for
Yeah.
stuff and tear down, like, we'll be around.
Okay, okay.
And that can be quick
Yeah,
help, if you just wanna, are you planning to bring supplies or?
so Sandy let us use her tent last year, so I'm gonna ask her again, if not, we can buy a tent, and
I have
then,
one.
but we get a table?
Yeah.
We do,
Table and
and chairs. Okay, but then we'll have everything else. We have tablecloths, we've got tons of giveaway items, magnets, stickers, keychains, pens, pencils. If there's other things you think we should bring. No,
I
okay.
think it's fine.
At the end of the year, if we
Candy?
have money left, we probably ought to look at buying a tent and having it say,
Yeah.
have it
Yeah.
actually labeled and maybe a tablecloth. I don't know if you have those that have it.
Yeah.
They're not.
Our friend from Tabco did email me today and was like, I was like, hey, we haven't talked in a while. I was like, okay, no. Which actually, I have another thing we need to.
So do you need help setting up this Friday? The student fair thing?
Can you be there at 4?
Yeah.
Then perfect. Yeah. Well, I will email you both
Okay.
about where we should meet and park, and I'll load up my car with the wagon and we'll just wagon. I need to also, Valerie just sent me the email at like 4:30.
Okay.
And so I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know if they're gonna provide a table. I don't know any of those details.
Yes.
They do? Okay.
We did it last year, right? Yeah. They
Okay,
did provide
perfect.
Tents are, they had.
You might be on there
Tents
too, you might
covered,
not.
Yeah.
The tents, I think it kind of depended on,
Where your table
Which-
was.
yeah. but I don't remember.
Special request.
Cause I would,
Oh,
I would bring
okay.
one just to be on the safe
Okay,
side.
I might, yeah.
Situation
Because
might
Sandy,
have
I think, is
happened.
out of town until, yeah. So her tent would not be available this
We
weekend.
still have it from the wedding.
Nice. Okay, that,
I can do the prize.
Oh.
We're doing it 5:30.
okay.
Thanks all, appreciate it.
Excellent.
And just to put a plug on Uzziah's opening.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you decided what you're singing yet? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you decided
What?
what you're singing?
I have some songs, but no.
Okay, I'm gonna decide. Okay.
Probably, yeah, I hope so. I don't know where your vendor summit is yet, here at Level Jumpers is helping do that, so you
Great.
should get that before the end of the week.
Okay, so I will be sending out emails, calendar invites, etc. Tomorrow morning. Well, not tomorrow morning because Dee and I have a meeting tomorrow morning. Okay, so post-strategic planning meeting, I went into like programming mode. And so originally I only had Black History Month on the agenda for today because I was like, okay, that's all but then I started, I can't not think about everything. So one of the pieces of feedback we got from the strategic planning retreat was that we really kind of needed to stretch out the timeline more. And I feel really confident having done it once, I'm ready to get going. So this is like my proposed timeline is that like September, we have a committee meeting to kick off, finalize the nomination form, which I've actually already been editing and again, based off of feedback, making changes to, preparing some promotional materials and opening the nominations by the end of September. I'm hoping maybe like September 10th could be a good day for a meeting. That's just what I put into my realm of what I thought might be good, but that is very soon. And then continuing promotion throughout October and really have them closed sometime in November, just thinking holiday season, Thanksgiving and the winter, other holidays in December. I want to give the committee 2 full weeks to read and review. And so then we would meet again in December, or actually maybe it's at the end of November is what I had said, is to meet and select the nominees, draft bios, confirm logistics in January, and have by January, actually I already put them down in my calendar, I think, but it would be like January 27th, I think. It's a Tuesday would be the banner honoree reception, and then on that Friday the 30th we could do the installation downtown pending weather. I will say that's 1 week, literally it's the week after MLK, so I was like, okay, I gotta get planning on these things. So what I would like to establish this evening is who would like to be on this committee and who we would like to invite. If it's the same people as last year, if we would like to expand, I don't think we would want to make it any smaller, but last year the committee was Dee, Nichelle, and Uzziah from the commission, and we invited Ariel Craig, whose name I'm so sorry spelled wrong on here, and Susie Dunning from the Vigo County History Center, representing kind of like our historical. If either Uzziah or Dee would like to kind of speak to how much work it was last year, it's not a small undertaking. It's a lot of reading. But the rubric that the class from ISU created really made things, I think, feel really fair, very clear. I'm happy to talk through anything, but.
I'm glad that you added more time, because we found that not everyone, I'm going to speak to myself, couldn't get through all of them by the time we had to make decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to not vote on a couple of people because I hadn't read him. So I think that was really important. I think that happened with a couple other volunteers as well, that they had to not vote. So we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most of us struggled reading all the way through all of the recipients. So
I think we had 55
That was a
total.
was a lot.
And so imagine, they each had 3 questions with 500. So these are also things that the committee will meet and decide on, Yeah, well, like, yeah, do we shorten how many questions we're asking? Because, like, sometimes I felt like we got the same answer in all 3 questions. And so these are all just things that I want to make sure, yeah, it's like, but I think we've really baked in a good, and also buffer room. Like, if we need to push it back another week, we could so easily with this timeline. But that means we gotta get going, have a meeting in September.
I'd expect more this time.
I agree.
It'll be bigger this time.
I agree. Which
I need to set the
frightens
package.
me. Like the nominations. So we do drop form, which I can just pull it up.
The only reason I ask is because now that you just talked about that new website.
Because they'll come to my email, and I
You can set it up to any email. I just did the whole thing on recording, and that is the one, there's several.
because I love that it's in an Excel file here, and it's all, and they know they were when I told them. I was like, oh, so I want to keep using Jotform. They're like, we really want everything to be on the website, and I'm like, but it doesn't put it into a nice.
I was gonna say, even if you could have, like, would they use the Google form for your,
IT,
you already got the.
did he tell you that?
Oh yeah. Well, the thing that, okay, so Google Form, it's like you have to be logged into Google to upload files, and one of the things that we ask is that folks maybe upload a picture, and so this Jotform is the only one that does it for free, and you don't have to like log in. So this is the same nomination criteria as last year. Actually, one of the things that I did was, when you answer one way with one question, it so I asked if the person was living, and if you select yes, then we can provide their contact information. Because that was something I was like, a couple of people, I was like, I don't know how to get a hold of you because I didn't get your contact information. And if no, do they have any living descendants or relatives? And if it's yes, provide their name and contact information. So I know. And if it's no, then obviously no one for me to contact. Unknown, that one I'll have to figure that one out when we get there. And the nice thing was our committee knew a lot of these folks, so that was great. But we did have 3 questions last year. Like I said, it was like a brief biography. Some people did not do brevity very well. Significant contributions, and it's like, yeah, I did. It said, and that was in it last year, but I couldn't stop people from writing more than that. I just had the please. So I don't think so. Describe the significant, and maybe that can be combined with, kind of the same. And then one of the things we had talked about was how can we use these stories to educate the next generation? Do they need to answer that, or is that really the committee kind of can make that determination on their own? So those are all things that, any additional information, which actually I had actually made that a required question last year. So then everybody was adding all sorts of additional information. It's optional now. And then optional again, because we know that some people might not have access to a photo. This timeline also gives us more time to find photos if necessary. I mean, we found them all. It was great. The History Center had all of the people who had were deceased, and I think we had everybody else from family or uploads. So
I think the question around please describe how the story. I feel like that would fall better under if that person is deceased versus the person living.
Sounds like you have a lot of good input. Sounds like you'd be a good committee.
Well, in our conversation with ATM, I'm on the committee by default. And my dot cohort was part of the cohort.
Yes,
The group who actually worked on it, so they were sitting in the corner, and I looked at them and I said, "That's your project because none of you live here, so you have the unbiased view." And they did an amazing job.
Yes. Oh yeah. So, who would like to be on this committee?
I'm
Okay.
I'll be on it.
And then D. Reed. Amber, did you say? Okay. You'd like to do it?
I
Are
was
they
gonna
looking
say,
at me?
I was say, I can mark myself as tentative
Mm-hmm.
based on life
Mm-hmm.
events.
I think I will say we only had 3 from the commission and we can have more. But we also want to probably invite a couple community members as well. So Uzziah, did you want to do it again?
If there's enough, then that's fine.
I did. You got no, but because I wanted to ask because you have school, and I know that's like right around finals time. So I would absolutely love, but it's up to you.
I just want to do the packets.
Well, we can share them with you.
I enjoyed it. I can do it again.
Okay.
I mean, I learned so much. I was like, why are these stories? I haven't these stories been shared before.
Yeah, it's true. It's always the case.
And then community members. One of the things that we kind of stuck to last year was Ariel and Susie were the recommendations of the ISU project. And so we really wanted to stick with what was recommended. Of course, if there's any conversation about that, we can have that. But question, and this will be an invitation to them. They obviously have every right to say no. But I'm going to go ahead and put them no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I support that.
Okay, so maybe we could have a motion or something to nominate Lakeisha, D, Amber, Jackie, Uzziah, and Ariel and Susie from the community to be invited to this committee.
Motion that?
Could say so moved.
So moved.
Second. Second? Okay, all those in favor of the motion to accept those committee members? Aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? No, motion carries.
It'll be fine. Mm,
Even if you wanted to add a community person, what would be the criteria beyond Ariel?
I think things that the group kind of had recommend, people with like knowledge of like our community's history, to ability to be unbiased. That was one thing.
That was the top one, really.
Yeah.
That was the top one, really.
Yeah, and I mean, so we have a really good. I think we came up with a good recusal. Is that right? And so it's a point system. I think it's like everybody's out of 100 points, which is a lot of points. And so I think we had half points still somehow, but it was like this person got a 67, and or like we'd go around the table. You're supposed to come in having read all of them, and we just type them into my Excel form. And if everybody is eligible to vote, it's out of the total of what possible. If, let's say, D is related to that person, which happened a couple times, maybe 3, we made it out of how many possible, not including that one. So it would have been out of 400 instead of 500, if that makes sense. And so if one thing is we're at an odd number right now, which I don't think it has to be because there's not voting necessarily, but odd numbers are always good with committees. So if we were to invite community members, we'd want to invite 2. But I'm going to get going quick if this is good.
The only reason I asked was just thinking of based on the conversation we had, just kind of getting that buy-in from the community and bringing them into things that we can.
Yeah.
Adding somebody else outside of those 2.
Yeah. And I think one of the things was, there were quite, why not this and part of it is, well, you can't have everybody, number one,
Right.
but also it's like, you want some people to be the nominators. Like, you intentionally, it's like, I want you to be a nominator, not necessarily. Yeah. So questions? Okay. Sorry, it's a little bit after 6. So, MLK, I have also been thinking about, and I went back and was reading, because there were actually 2 groups that had kind of provided ideas from the ISU project. There was actually Lakeisha's group who had done kind of our panel, and then there was another group that had talked about like a youth program. And so I mean, I came up with 5 things that I'm like, we should do this, but I'm like, okay, we need to slim it down. But on the back, there's room for some committee members, and people can be on multiple things. Yes. And so this one I haven't totally nailed down. I'm like, okay, maybe at this meeting I should nail down like that we are going to meet in September. Well, actually, I guess I did. I said like, oh, we should have an essay contest, which actually I want to talk to our Cody tomorrow from the school corporation about potentially partnering with them on maybe if we do something like this. But we need to also get this one going quick, but I didn't set a date. Like I said, September 10th for the other one. So I can not, because I'm like, what is it? The burden of not like, I'm like, oh, I know all of this. You have not, you're just seeing this for the first time. So some of the recommendations and conversations that we had in 2024, but we haven't yet like fully implemented, and was like some sort of contest for, there's a lot of like writing contests, but maybe it's a multimedia contest. It's art and poetry and essays, and not just for children, but for college students and for adults to enter as well. Having like a public show where all of these things are displayed in the like week leading up or the weekend before. Have a grand champion given an award at our panel celebration. Day of service, that's something that is really important to the Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday. ISU has a day of service where I believe, and someone can correct me, that students can sign up to participate in service activities at other places, but they're not hosting their own event.
Correct.
And I was like, well, we could be an event that students could then attend, but then other people, we had talked about at our strategic planning retreat, like, oh, the Boy Scout and the Girl Scout troops, we need to invite them to our read aloud. This could be something like similarly. And then I felt like kind of confirmation at our Lotus Committee advisory meeting today. They were like, oh, we need like volunteers and donate, hygiene kits to pass out and things. And I was like, wow, that could be an activity at this thing, is sorting through, canned good, if we did some sort of, I'm like, obviously I'm putting out a lot of big ideas that need a lot of planning and work, but creating tie blankets to give out at the pit count that they do it's always the following week is the week that they do that homeless count for HUD. I'm like, wow, that we could do that. They make blankets and they could give them out. Anyway, these are just, again, big ideas I'm trying to like condense down. We want to do our panel again, probably. We need to plan that. If we want to do the book club again, we did say at the strategic planning retreat that we did, but maybe shorten it 3 or 4 sessions, maybe choose something that's not so dense as the book we'd had this past year, maybe change the venue, maybe the library, since that's books. I've heard that the 12 Points Library has a really nice meeting space. I've not been inside, so I got to check that out. Or the History Center, they're always a wonderful partner to us.
When you met with Anne, did she have any suggestions?
So she had suggested, she's like, well, what about like a novel or something instead? And I was like, I think we like, I was like, I was not shooting anything down. So she had suggested like, what about a novel? What if it was not like a book club, like where you have to read it beforehand, but maybe it's more of like a lecture series or something. I mean, again, this was just ideas. having it be like maybe a film instead, or a book that has a film accompanied with, so people could choose to watch or read, to do like a short, like do essays, or where it's just a short thing. Those were some of the things that she had said.
I know why Gatesburg sings.
That's yes.
My hero.
I didn't hear you.
I know why Gatesburg sings. Mine. I met her. I met to meet my hero. Who gets to meet her? Not for me.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things she was like, she was glad that she really didn't like the venue. So we talked about that for a while, where we could have it. Because no one really ate. And we didn't really want people to be like eating and with a book in their hand. I don't know. So MCL was just not the right fit. And so that we talked about that for a long time. Yeah. Well, because I was like, I was like, we're in a coffee shop. Oh, it'd be so cozy, but like coffee shops close and they're open to the public. So, we were getting off on some tangents.
The 12 points meeting spaces.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, that one my mom suggested. So
You're always, depending on the timing, you're welcome to use the price too.
that's a good
If it's after
idea.
hours, then downtown parking is free. You don't get it.
As always, you can use the police department, I can use room.
Yes.
You can always use the sanctuary at next step. The recovery cafe space.
Or if you want multiple places, if you want
Yeah.
to switch up the spots.
I think one of the things that we discovered with the community engagement workshop was that when we changed locations, we lost people. So I'm hesitant to do that. Yeah.
A lot of options there.
Yeah. But this could be a really good conversation for the committee at our first
How
meeting
many people were there?
at
That was
at
gonna be
the-
my question.
at the book club.
Yeah.
I think we, over the course of the 6 meetings,
Yeah.
we had like 45 unique people that came. But they were unique people.
Yes.
But
There's a but.
by the first 2 sessions, we had 20 people at each session. And then after that, it was about 12, then 10, then like 10, then 9.
Yeah.
So what
But
was-
I mean,
what was
like,
that?
did it, one of my things is I'm like, did it impact someone? Yes. There were people who came away with a better understanding, are going to hopefully make our community better as a result. And so it's like, I try not to get too fixated on the corporate KPIs, if you will. I try to okay, it'll have a ripple effect.
It's improving life by 1%.
What?
It's improving life by 1%.
Yes. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah.
Just reach one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's your first year too.
Right.
Exactly, that
Those are
too.
good numbers.
you think? Okay. I don't know. I'm like,
A book read.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Terre Haute, and
Yeah.
the type of book.
I tried that before and nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's good numbers.
Okay. And the other thing Ann and I talked about was, do we partner with the library, and it's in their newsletter thing that they put out every month. They have all sorts of events, and we're like, when people think of book, they think of library. So should it be something we approach them about? But just knowing what we know about publicly funded groups and hesitancies around certain things. The city is not hesitant about continuing this type of thing, so I would hope the library would be on board, but those are things that I always,
Lots of musical books, movie books.
yeah.
It's probably
I want to be actually.
It also gets the community to the library.
Yeah, I love the library. Oh gosh, I hope this our recording hasn't stopped. My computer locked.
Well, but don't worry about it.
I'd be on it too, AT. I was at most of the shows last year.
Yeah.
This will be like an event.
Yeah, the color, just see the kids.
So these things are separate.
Yeah, you can do anything. You can do all the things.
I'm
And it may be a committee question, but what did you do for beverages and stuff like that last year? Do you have any things for the people who came to the book?
No, they got a free book though.
No,
Yeah.
awesome.
No, but we did not.
Going
We're-
forward,
yeah.
the Terrell Police Department will sponsor coffee and
Yeah.
sponsor something for each guy to talk to us.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
You would buy the coffee?
Yes.
Cool.
Wow.
Great.
I don't do coffee, but a lot of people.
I'll bring water too.
Yeah, well, I guess I gotta call the fire department and say, well, so when are you guys sponsoring? You sponsoring the cookies?
They don't have a meeting with me or getting something around the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can do, coffee and all favors, do coffee and cookies on us, so.
Coffee, water, and cookies.
Wow, oh my gosh. We have our first sponsor, guys. Okay. This is being recorded. You're being held to it.
Yeah.
THPD. Okay, so right now I have Dana, Justin, Lakeisha, and Dee, and Amber, and a tentative Katie.
Yes. Which ideally, yes.
Lakeisha, you're on it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read those one more time?
Okay, yeah, no worries. Dana, Justin, Lakeisha, Dee, Amber, Katie is a tentative, is an advisory.
Send me the calendar invites, if I can make it, I will make it.
So I think
the
the,
request if it's possible to get the meeting before September.
Yeah.
19th, so I can do
okay, before September 19th.
You can do back-to-back committees. September 10th.
I know, I'm like, we good. Yeah, oh my gosh, you're not. Okay, okay. And then after hours meetings, is that okay with everybody? Okay, I'm like a 5 p.m. meeting, a 4:30. What time does you all finish work? And
I'm coming from
Bloomington.
Bloomington, so if you do like 4:30 or 5, I might have to zoom in from the first part of it, because I usually don't leave work until like 3:45, 4.
Okay,
It
yeah.
depends on patient
Yeah,
wise,
that's
so.
fair. That's fair.
I'm sure that I'll be able to make every meeting, but you can assign me tasks.
Okay, yeah. So is 5 okay? Just generally, because I'm like, I want to be mindful of like, yeah, like the work day is probably not the right time. For the other one, I just got to make sure that our community members are okay with that commitment being outside of work hours. Do we need to, could we have a motion to nominate Dana, Justin, Lakeisha, Dee, Amber, and Katie as a tentative member of the MLK Planning Committee?
So
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed, same sign.
Okay.
Yeah, you said the night on the Wabash, September.
We might on Wabash.
Is that the song?
And I saw the ticket.
Oh.
I know.
It's our only fundraiser.
You get a lot of money.
Dana, do you want to call for statements from?
Yeah, so any statements from the commissioners? Any statement from the public?
Oh, no.
No, but I actually have one more thing. Okay, so your name tags that you have were made by Woodburn Printing and they closed.
Oh.
So I had asked to order Lakeisha a new one, and so one thing I'd like to maybe get us all new name tags with the new city logo. So would that be okay? Gathering quotes for that. Okay.
Yes, and I'm changing my name.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Good timing. Okay. They also made us the Padfolios, and that was the last one. So, yeah, we'll have to find a new supplier for all of our stuff. Yes. Yeah. They have been kind to us so far.
Woodburn, like they were in business for a really long time, aren't they?
I think that.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairly good
Downtown.
engineers, yeah.
Yeah.
They're one of the oldest buildings right around.
Yeah. Anyway, that was it. We can adjourn now.
Yeah.
I'd like to go to that committee.
Yeah.
We'll have public comment.
We get everything
About the
reserved.
what?
The journals.
For the,
banners.
I think that'll be a conversation for the committee.
Just for the- okay.
When I'm talking like glad he weren't sure what kind of support you're gonna have.
We can adjourn if there's a movement.
Oh,
Nobody wants to be told.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
She moved to adjourn.
And then she said,
You saying that, oh.
Sorry, falling on my dog.
Meeting is adjourned.